I'm so sorry for the delay, but I had an awful lot of crinoline issues this morning. If you had also crinoline issues this morning, let me know down in the comments. So we are back to the 1860s. We are going to do an 1860s-esque line dance and just talk a little bit about kind of the fashion and the times and how they affected dance styles. So the reason we're very, very late today, Miss Ari is watching from home because she is very sick. She said, "You don't want me coughing on it," and I said, "I don't mind," but still, there's also no fancy matcha today. I should have done a plain matcha, but I was struggling with this because I thought I had it planned out. I had a very nice crinoline, which was very flat, then it stayed very flat. So I had a skirt like this, which would have been okay when we get to the 1500s about there, but for the 1860s, they had something called a crinoline, which was an underskirt. It was like a bird cage, and it was usually very kind of round, although we started to move towards the bustle, which made a little fuller in the back during the 1860s, but it got very, very wide, but it was usually kind of smooth all around. And my crinoline was just whoop, like a tutu, and then down. So some strange objects fall out of here while we're dancing. It's the process. It took a little bit to get everything down. Listen to me, I never would have done this back in the day. I always practiced in the costume. I made sure that everything was going right, but not this time. So my fireflies, today is also a song that, imagine if you are from the US and maybe outside the US, it's a kind of a tune which you're probably familiar with. It's called Battle Hymn of the Republic. And it was written by Julie Ward Howe, who was an abolitionist during the American Civil War, which means she was against slavery, and she wrote this as both kind of a rallying cry and a moral religious thing that to the fundamental wrongness of slavery. So that's its history. It's been adapted into many, many different forms, very often with orchestras, marching bands, but just kind of a simpler version today by Bobby Horton, his name is, and kind of reenactments of American folk songs, so some nice ones. Check out his channel. So my fireflies, we're going to jump right into the line dance because we're so late today, or rather I'm so late today. So we're not going to do the warm up, but just make sure that you raise and lower your arms a few times just to get things moving. I always like to open and close my hands because that gives I'm going to start to form my whole arms up, bending your elbows, bending your knees with them tense and pushing the floor away, warm yourself up. And you always want to raise and lower or the other foot. We might do a video showing what all I have pinned underneath here to hold this down because I'm moving house, so I couldn't find my usual things. So I had to improvise. All right, so as far as dance styles go, so in the 1860s, it was a lot of formation dance, meaning you would dance in formation with other couples. A little bit, it was kind of moving in the direction of square dancing, but it wasn't quite like that. You had a lot of couples dancing, but it would have been smaller steps because you had these big skirts. The waltz was still very popular, still a little bit scandalous, but I'm not quite sure how you would hold yourself. When the waltz was first developed, you had a much slimmer fashion style, so you've been able to hold each other much. In a book, I believe it was Farmer Boy. So he describes how his mom got through the doorway. So she would come through, and she would kind of go one side and then the other, and go hop, and she'd be through, and she'd be holding the tray or whatever it is. So, because I just kind of wondered how to navigate life in one of these skirts. And of course, doorways might have been an issue. If you look at older structures also, doorways did tend to be a little bit smaller than they are today. And since I had trouble getting through the doorway today, I would have really had to have some skill to get through it back when. All right. butterflies. Hairstyles, generally covering the ears, but not always. They were coming up a little. Earrings could be long and dangly already. And as we have, so interesting note towards shoes during this decade is that this is when they really started to have a shape of right and left, because before that, they were a little bit like ballet shoes. So in ballet, whether they're flat or whether they're toe shoes, they look absolutely the same when you take them out of the box. They are identical, and it's your, oh, thank you, I see hearts, I can't see your comments from there, but thank you. They look absolutely the same, and you have to wear them a while so they take on the form of your foot. So they're made from kind of softer materials that will adapt to your foot, but it does take a minute. That's why toe shoes, when you first put them on, they can be a little bit painful because they're brand new, they're stiff, and you know, I broke them in quite a lot before I even put them on, and we'll get to that at a certain point. But yes, so here they started to really kind of conform to the nature of the foot, meaning you did have a right foot and a left foot instead of them being two kind of parallel things. All right, my butterflies. So, and we're going to try and make it a little bit of this style for sure, how it was back then, because there were no videos, but we're going to try and do it in this style where you've had a little bit of upper body movement because you couldn't really see your legs, but your skirts were moving all the time. And very often this was also a chance when you used balls and parties for people to meet, young people to meet each other, because there weren't the same opportunities that there are now. You couldn't meet anybody on the internet, you couldn't go out, at least as a young lady, you couldn't go out on your own on the street or go to a restaurant, a cafe, a bar, a mall, wherever it is, and meet somebody. You had to be with somebody who was taking care of you all the time, and parties were a chance to meet other young people and get together. All right, my butterflies. So we're going to start, and you have to lift up a little bit so you can see my feet. We're going to start by another chassé, which we've done. So we put our weight on our right foot mostly, and it's like we're going to kick our right foot out of the way by using the left. So we're going to step left, right, and left, right, left. So if you're, I'm not sure if you can see from the back today. So we're stepping right, left, right, left, right, left. We've done this movement. So we have our right, left, right, left, right, left, and right, left, right, and left, right, left. That is the first part. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And moving on from there. So getting back to a line dance, for those of you who have not done it before, this is how that's very popular today. And it's usually done, it can be done to any kind of music. It can be done to, very often to country music, pop music, Latin music, whatever it is that you want. But it's a great dance because you can go out, it's no partner required. In fact, it's partnerless, and you learn a short sequence and you dance it to the front, and then that sequence takes you to the side, and you dance the same sequence to this wall, and then this wall, and you continue all the way around for the duration of the song. So the first part of that is going to be to the right, and left, and left. Move from back so you can see my feet. And so we're here, and then we're going to take 4 steps forward, and but we're going to be crossing our legs. So we're going to step and cross, and cross, and cross, and cross. If you remember last time we gave a little push off of the left foot to send us in the other direction. So as we're moving forward, now if you need to step quickly, you want to put your weight a little more towards the front of your foot so you can make those steps a little faster. So you're going 1, 2, 3, 4. A little push off your left foot to send yourself back again on your right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Everything is starting on the right today. So far we have a right and a left, and a right, left, right, and a left, right. steps forward and normal steps back. And it doesn't really matter if you get on the wrong foot, you can easily correct that. And after that, we're going to have a step, tap, turn to the right. Can you still see? A step to the right and step, tap, step, tap, left, step, tap, right. So now we have a chassé right and chassé left and right, right and left, right, left, right, left, right, left, push up, right, left, left, step, tap, step, tap, step, tap, step, tap. And all you have to do is get to the next corner. So again, we're just going to walk in, but I want you to try and, we're going to try and step downwards. So what I mean by that is that instead of stepping up like this, you can also do that. It's your dance, so it's your style. But we're going to try and make our skirt sway a little bit by kind of kicking out and putting our weight right over our right foot and lifting left, into the right, into the right, stepping left. All right. It's a little wonky, but a little bit fast. All right. Right chassé, left chassé, right chassé, left chassé, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Step, tap, step, tap, tap, step, tap, and step, and step, and step, and you're at the next corner. All right, my fair thighs. I hope your glutes are all staying down a little more even than mine is. Let's do it once around to each corner, and then we're going to put on the music, and we're going to dance it, and just have fun with it. That's what this is all about. All right, so put little arms on it. It's almost like you're giving a little greeting to the people you're dancing with. Maybe you're going in formation, so you'd say hello to one person and hello to the next person as you change partners, or went in formation with other dancers. So, and our right to the left, right, left, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Step and tap, step, tap, step, tap, step, tap, and step. And slowing it down, and step. And now to this corner end. Right to the left, left, right, right, push up, left, and right, push up, left, step, right, step, tap, step, right, step, left, and right. Slow it down, and right, and left, and now right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, and right, step left, step right, step right, dance. And swing, and swing. To the next corner. That's it, and right, and left, and right, left, and step, tap, and step, tap, and swing. Swing. So it just goes all the way through. There are no restarts, there are no tags. It's all the same step. In the beginning, the introduction plays a little bit, so we're just going to give a little sway of our girdles for those of you who wear girdles. And so this is your dance. This is for you, so have fun with it. Don't worry, just keep stepping, and you can always catch the beat as you come around, or we want you to. All right, my butterflies. Let's get this. So again, this is Battle Hymn of the Republic. This was written by abolitionist Julia Ward Howe, and this edition is from Bobby Horton.